going on, everyone? Kelly Cavalier here, one half 7 Arrow Media, and welcome to today's edition of the Honky Tonk Highway. We're back. I know it's been a little bit. Life happens, traveling, all that nice stuff. Today's guest, you're absolutely going to love, and we're going to get to them in just a moment. But remember, like, subscribe, follow, share, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. That way you don't miss out on nothing we ever post. And don't forget, the Honky Tonk Highway goes live on Line Dancer Radio every Tuesday from 9 to 11 Eastern, 2 to 4 UK time. Pretty much what I do here on the talk show, just I also get to play music. So today's guest, multi-time U.S. Open champions. They've done ballroom, they've done country. If you don't know who this couple is, guys, you are missing out. Ladies and gentlemen, Gary McIntyre and Susan Kirklin. What's going on, guys?
Nothing much. We're happy to be here.
Thanks for having us.
So, before we get into the more fun questions, why don't we tell everyone out there can't talk today, how you guys got started dancing?
Sure. You go first.
Yeah, I saw, I was going through the process of ending a partnership with somebody, and it was going over the course of us finishing out contracts for the year. And I saw Susan dancing at the Arizona Dance Classic, actually, with David Appel. And Susan, I didn't know at the time, was, I believe, retiring that year as well. Not retiring, but kind of going on to pursue her career. And I didn't know that, but I saw her there, and I was just amazed. And I literally said to that particular partner, I said, I mean, she was in a lifted position, and she had her foot in a wing position. I was like, okay, she's super trained. And the person I was with said, oh, she's amazing. She's a really, really good dancer. So nothing happened, and then we went on from there. And I saw her at the Dallas Dance Festival in 2005 in November. And I asked her, I said, hey, are you looking for a dance partner in other dance forms? Because I think you're an amazing dancer and I'd love to dance with you. Something along those lines. And Susan said, no. No, I'm not looking for anybody. She actually turned me down, and she said, no, I'm not interested because I'm moving on. I'm retiring from this and I'm moving on to my career. Maybe you can continue on from there. Because I asked.
Sure. So I had just kind of finished school, and I was looking to probably just and my degree was in advertising, so I was going to pursue that. And I thought, like, okay, well, the dancing has been part of my life, my whole life, but now I guess I need to get a real job or something. So, but then I thought about it, and I thought, well, you can't really compete professionally, forever. Maybe this is something like I should consider, because I really do love dancing. And so then I called them like a few days later or something and say, hey, maybe we should do a tryout. Let's do a tryout and see how it goes. And then we did a tryout, and then we started dancing together. I quit my job, and the rest is history.
Yeah, no pun intended there.
Yeah.
So y'all have danced all genres. You've done ballroom, country western, swing. What made you make this decision to leave all those other stuff and just focus on swing?
Well, we didn't. That really wasn't what we did. We actually started with swing in 2006 when we kind of, as I met her, we got together in February of 2006 and had that tryout, and we started with swing. That was the direction we wanted to go. The week before the U.S. Open in 2006, I tore a tendon off the bone, and I couldn't lift her anymore. Literally couldn't lift her anymore. So this is we were at Angel and Debbie's dance, and that was historic here in Austin. It was a great dance, and we performed there. I heard it, and our U.S. Open showcase goal was done for that year. So when we came back from the U.S. Open, we said, well, hey, look, I can't lift you. We have this routine, but let's just learn some other routines. Let's pursue the ballroom side of things for a while. And, Susan hadn't really done ballroom at all. I mean, she had done, she taught a few basic lessons at the studio.
Yeah, like wedding couples, bronze level stuff. But yeah, not competing professionally by any means.
And this sort of, I already was well known in the American Smooth, and we had done standard and Latin back home, but American Smooth, I just retired, or not retired, but left that scene. And so we started dancing, and we had our first performance like a month and a half later. It was at an event in Vancouver, Canada, and it was terrible. but it was our first kind of get on the floor, and then something, I don't know, something happened. We just started to improve immensely in a short period of time, and in the course of that 11 months of doing ballroom, we won the Ohio Star Ball and Rising Star, and that was just a massive thing to do in 11 months. That was kind of like unheard of, and so. Especially for since couples that we weren't really, but that just shows how talented Susan is as a dancer. She's remarkable. And basically,
so basically, I mean, Gary is insane. I think everyone knows that. But like Gary wanted to.
I'm insane, not just.
Yeah.
I want to do everything.
He wants to do everything. So as soon as we could, we added swing back in, and then not long after that, maybe a year or two, we added country.
So, but 3 years later, we added country. Yeah.
And so like at one time we were competing in all three things at the same time. And it was fun, but what it meant like is like on a Friday, we might be in Florida. On a Saturday, we might be in Vegas. And that doesn't leave a lot of room for real life, like if you're doing that kind of thing and practicing all the time. So eventually it was like, okay, I can't take all of it. Gary probably would have done it forever. But I couldn't take it anymore. So I was like, okay, I love country, but I just can't do everything. So we started cutting out country, and then eventually we cut out ballroom, and then swing was left. And obviously we loved all of them, but it just seems like for us, swing maybe was our biggest passion for that time period. It still continues to be. And so that's kind of how we ended up doing just swing.
Wouldn't say that we retired from country. We retired from ballroom. It's difficult for me. I've had some shoulder injuries, so it's been difficult for me to maintain a good closed position for the period of time that we have to do in ballroom. So we decided to retire from ballroom mainly because of injuries. At least that was my choice. Maybe different for Susan, but country, I haven't waited that out yet. I don't know, but I know that I enjoy doing swing. It is just one dance. I love doing pro-am in country and pro-am in ballroom, which gives me a chance to still do those dances. So that's kind of like my outlet right now.
Nice. What's been y'all's favorite routine that you've done?
Oh, we get asked this question a lot, and
I'm sure you do.
I mean, it's for me. I'll let you answer this one first because I know what you're going to say, and okay. I'll venture off from that because I agree with her.
My favorite routine that we've done is probably our balloon routine, which is like it's a waltz and it's kind of comedic. So the reason why I liked it so much, it wasn't the most challenging routine, but whenever we would do it, the audience response was always just really awesome. So it was like, it wasn't as hard as some of our swing routines and whatnot, but the payoff was always really big. So I just love doing it. And it's so fun, and it like the crowd laughs with you and cries with you, and it's great.
I mean, I would say that's probably one of my favorite routines for sure. Because of exactly what Susan already said. But there's a couple other routines that I absolutely loved, and that were and I loved them for different reasons. Like there was this Viennese waltz that we did that was a wedding dance, runaway bride kind of thing, and I loved that. We did it at Ohio Star Ball, and I thought we did a good version of it. But I think that was a really interesting kind of to show off our talents because that routine was challenging.
Yeah.
Very challenging. And then I would say. There's a few swing routines that I really attached myself to because I was really out of my element. So I liked our gray routine in swing. Once we really nailed that later in the year after the U.S. Open, that became one of my favorite routines because that was completely out of my element, and I liked that challenge. But so was the balloon routine. It was out of my element. It was out of my I was being a silly kid, and so that's also fun. So those three are kind of what I have memories of.
I have to say, I absolutely love your Tennessee whiskey routine. The fact that y'all were able to take that country version and that country song and win the Open with it was absolutely phenomenal.
I love that version because it was the Justin Timberlake.
Yep.
We took it off of YouTube, and because they didn't produce it,
Nope.
and so
I wish they did. I love that version.
I know, right? So I put an intro to it, and I put an outro to it, and that's it. And we cut the song in the middle, and yeah, we love that because it's got a beautiful 12/8 rhythm to it. So it's really nice.
I love that song. I remember like when that was the first time we won the U.S. Open together, and I remember in rehearsal, like doing it and almost like being like emotionally tearful because like I could feel just how powerful that song is.
Yeah.
And like, I really liked our routine as well. And I was just like, oh, maybe this could be it for us. Maybe this will be our first time to win. And it was just a really like special time in our partnership, I think.
I mean, I think what was special about that routine was the competitors that watched us for the first time. I remember PJ Turner right in front of us, and he was just just overjoyed with us dancing that song, but also what we did with it. So, these people were passionate about this song, and sadly, I didn't hear about them at all. And then Jordan and Parker came down, and we went to ACL, and I saw Chris Stapleton live, and that song came on, and Parker was like, "This is the best song ever." And then when we were sitting around the campfire, he played me the version of the Justin Timberlake version, and I was like, "Oh my God, it's amazing!" And he wanted to use it, and then I called him. I said, "Are you using it or not?" He said, "No, we're not using it. You can go ahead." And I was like, so thankful. I think Melissa will never forgive him for that, but I was so thankful. He said, "Go ahead and use it," because he found it first. And man, I don't regret a moment of that routine. This was fantastic.
Yeah. So how have y'all been keeping busy during lockdown? I see y'all are doing a bunch of stuff online. How's lockdown been going for you guys?
It's been going great. Yeah, and you're right. We have been doing these intensive kind of really since the beginning of COVID.
In the beginning, end of March.
That's right. And so we have a country intensive that we do and a swing intensive. And I'm glad you asked about it because we have them starting this week. So if anyone's interested, we'd love to have you join. We have the country one is Thursday night. Thanks. It's Thursday night, 6 to 8 p.m. Central. And then the West Coast Swing is Friday night, 6 to 8 p.m. Central. And we have new topics that we're working on. Something that people really like about this, they're 2-hour segments, 24 hours total. So it's a great value for what you're getting. And then we also give personalized feedback each week. So you send us in your homework. We assigned a little bit. It's not mandatory. You don't have to do it. But if you send it in, we give you personalized feedback and a critique so that you can get the most out of your time with us.
And anybody listening to the show, you can still get even though the early bird rate ended yesterday, we still give you the early bird rate through tomorrow at noon. If you want to register for them, that would be awesome to have you.
Yeah,
we've been getting rave reviews of them because we were very, if you don't know, as teachers, we're very structured, and we write things out, we map it, so people that learn in all different ways have an opportunity to learn.
And we're fun. And we're fun. So you should definitely, if you're available, you should definitely check it out.
For sure.
Yeah, guys, if you've never taken a lesson with him, trust me, I take many lessons with Gary back in the day when I did country, and I've got to sit in at West Coast events on their lessons when I was doing the videos. You're not going to be disappointed. Trust me on this one, guys. So what's it look like for y'all to get back on the road and touring? Any news on when y'all are going to be able to hit events again? I know Texas is starting to open up. I get to come there this weekend.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Like, I've been to a couple ballroom events already, and I went to my very first country event, which was in Oklahoma over this past weekend, and it was just tons of people, and everyone's so excited to get back to dancing. So I feel like there's going to be like this new revival. Like whenever things open up for West Coast Swing as well, I feel like people are going to support it. People are excited to get back and dance in person.
I mean, we still have some students that are, there'll be some people out there that are reluctant to come back, and they should be reluctant if they don't feel safe, if they don't feel comfortable, They shouldn't do it. But there's a large group of people that are well, for us, we're ready to be safe and still go back. We're ready to monitor our interactions and wear a mask, and we're going to do that because we're bringing ourselves back to more students and friends. So. But I love it. I haven't been to an event yet due to some injuries that I'm healing from, but I'm so excited to get back into it.
Awesome. Yeah, huge shout out to Beth Emerson and Lee and Marcy Harp. I got to see a lot of pictures and videos. Heard it was an awesome time. And for those who don't feel safe, you got other options. I know both of you all are doing a workshop for Jennifer Eagle next weekend.
Yep.
I'm sorry, 2 weeks. Mid-Atlantic Dance Classic, first virtual event for the UCWDC. Kind of a big deal. That's never been done. So
and people are sending in videos with their, I mean, it's probably too late now, but they were sending in videos with their pro-am routines, and they were being judged virtually. So I just like to see people still getting out there and dancing.
I totally, because people were filming we're actually at our studio right now, and people were filming here at various times, and they, it's a Tuesday morning, and they come in fully made up in their costumes, and they brighten everybody's day, and it makes people, I think, excited again. You're like, yes, we're getting back there, we're almost there. So I think it's awesome, and everyone should watch the show and take part in the workshops.
Yes, take part of the workshops, watch the comp. It'll be broadcasted on Zoom webinar in next weekend. I'll actually have Jennifer on tomorrow. We'll go all over that on the highway about what to expect next week, guys, for the first virtual comp. So I'm gonna ask y'all a question I ask every guest I have on that interview, and this one's gonna throw you and make y'all actually think. If money was no object, where would you hold a dance event, and who would be the first 5 instructors you asked to come?
Okay.
I like to be creative.
I mean, I've dreamt of that. I've dreamt of continuing to teach, even if I won the lottery, I'd still love to teach, because I just love this industry. I swear to you, I've done that. I'm fascinated by it. First 5 instructors would depend on the event. Just remember, because we have many different styles of events that we can run. So name me a style. Country?
Let's go. Actually, that's a hard one.
Let Susan do one and I'll do the other.
All right, let's you do country and let Susan do West Coast swing.
Great. So for me, first 5 individuals.
No, I let other people, couples count as one.
Okay, great. So for me, I'm a historian of country dance. I've been around it for 30 years, and so I would definitely bring back some of the people that we've had at no expense. Doesn't matter what the cost would be. I'd bring back your Robert and Loreens. I would bring back. I would bring back even Bob Bars or Tony or Yvonne. Any of these individuals that would come back and teach would be great. I also would want to have Brandy Tobias there and she would teach with Ronnie. I would love it if she taught with Ronnie. And these are powerhouses of country dancing. And I would love to see Dawn Garish at the time. Now Dawn Blorstadt come back and teach, because she was a powerhouse, and she's such a brilliant woman. So like these are for me the historical people, and plus on top of that, Dave Getty. I would love to have Dave at the event as a teacher. Let's get away from the competition side of it for a moment and let him be a teacher. He's a fantastic teacher. He's taught a lot of us in our early parts of our career. He taught us how to dance. He taught us how to understand the country dances and get them going in the right direction. So for me, Robert and Lorene would be 1. I'll just group Tony, Vaughn, and Bob as kind of 2, 3. Ronnie and Brandy for sure for me. And then of course, Dave. I would love to have Dave Getty in there. And Dawn would be my 4th. Sorry, those 3. Dawn and Dave would be the ones that I would love to have a part of the event.
Okay, great.
Awesome. All right, West Coast swing.
West Coast swing. Okay, so we don't count as one of the couples, right? We're in charge of getting people there.
Of course not. Of course, you do not count as one of the couples.
Yes.
You're there by default.
Well, first off, I definitely would hire Glenn Ball, my husband, because I love having him around. So that's a little nepotism, but he's actually like incredible to have an event, and he makes everything fun. So I definitely would have him. Okay, 2, I love Jordan and Tatiana. They're always excellent. There's someone we bring into our studio every year. They're fantastic. It's hard. You don't have to sell anyone on Jordan and Tot. They're great.
No.
Royston, I would say Royston has been teaching with Brandy, so I'm going to put those as 1. Even though they're not always a couple, they did teach together, so I'm going to count those as 1. I love also teaching, we do this thing called ESS, which is, it used to be called Endless Summer Swing, but I think it's just ESS now. And we do this with Kyle and Sarah every year as well, and they're just a blast. It's so fun
and so knowledgeable about
so
swimming. Kyle and Sarah are so knowledgeable about swimming. I love it.
And they just have like their own style, and it's incredible. And then for my final one, this one I could go a bunch of different ways with, but I'm gonna say Max and Virginie.
Oh, good choice.
Ooh,
Just
good
because
one.
I've never actually really taught with them as much, like a couple times in Europe, but I always love their style, and I like to, let's include some of the Europeans in there to give a different vibe. And she has such a cool style, and he has such cool patterns, and they're just lovely.
I mean,
so that's my five.
Yeah, he's for me. He was the one that really helped evolve this new style of West Coast swing.
Yeah.
I have to say, you might have been the most prepared people for that question ever. My buddy who's actually in the comment, who's watching, Trevor Thornton, who's a line dance instructor, gave me that question over a year ago after my very first show, and I've asked it pretty much to everyone ever since. And I think he said he's actually rooming with your husband this weekend at the line dance event in Heart of Texas.
That's
which
right.
is kind of funny.
That's awesome. Hi, Trevor.
So, I have to ask you, I've gotten travel all over the world to teach, to compete. What's been your favorite place to visit to teach and compete?
You go first.
Well, I'll be honest with you. Like you're thinking that. So when I'm thinking of this question, I'm thinking of people that want to learn. Yes, that are eager to learn. I'm thinking about talented people that when you give them stuff, they're producing the product in a short period of time. I find all of that pretty fascinating. So I'm actually going to. I'll say two. There's more than. There's probably three. The first one is actually ESS. I'm blown away by their leveling of their classes through 5 levels. And every time we go there, it is just such a fantastic experience of teaching the new people to the middle people to the higher people to the pros in level 5. And it's ridiculously fun. I love teaching in Russia. These people they give you that Russian smile when you're teaching. So you don't know if anybody's enjoying anything. They're there to work. They're so talented. They're so eager, and I love teaching there. And then I would say that group of people at the UK Champs, kind of UK Champs Budapest group, that just for us is another good feeling for us when we're teaching. We just love those kind of events.
Yeah, I'm going to second that. I love ESS. Because it's the most like the European style with the leveled workshops. Because you really feel you can offer something to someone, as opposed to when you're trying to like appease everyone at every level.
There's nothing hard.
I do love ESS, and I love doing it with the group of people that they hire. It's really like a blast. And we also do this thing. I'm sure a lot of them do, but I love this. We have like a leaders versus followers dance off on the final night at a club, and that's really fun. So I would say that ESS is probably my favorite.
Awesome. Any place that you haven't got to visit yet that you'd still on your bucket list of places you'd like to go? For me, I would like to get into. I'd like to try some of the Asian countries. I would love to work in China, Japan, Korea, these different places that have these swing groups that I think they would really get into our style of teaching, the methodology of it, the writing out the format that we have. I think that they would really enjoy our teaching. I loved going to Australia, and we had a few people come down. So I would love to have a bit more access or a little bit more travel to that group. I'm not sure if Susan would like that because it's a heck of a long flight from Dallas, but yeah, I would love it. What about you?
Same. I will say, ever since I watched Lost in Translation, I don't know if you've seen that movie, but it's Bill Murray and he travels to Tokyo, I believe. I've always wanted to go to that neck of the world, so it'd be great. It would be cool to go to Asia.
Awesome. So, outside of dance, I know y'all dance almost all the time. Hobbies, what do you like to do when you're not on the dance floor? I already know Gary's answer because I've seen many of his posts. I know you love to drive. I do, but that's not been something that's been I actually sold my cars, and it's not something that's been easily accessible during COVID. So it's kind of
it was a very expensive sport to not be using, to be doing anything. So something that maybe people don't know about me is I'm a big home renovator. So during COVID, Austin's market went through the roof with Tesla and Oracle and Amazon opening a main plant here, and there's more announcements of more tech companies coming from California. So our market's gone through the roof. So I sold my house and made some profit on that, and I bought a house out of town just outside towards 71, and which is a highway just by the airport, and I couldn't be happier. So I like the peace and quiet. I've done a tremendous amount of construction work on it, whether it's plumbing, electrical, construction. I love to develop and design things, so that's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I have never had hobbies. Like, I've always just been like, I dance and then I work and that's it. And then COVID came and all of a sudden there was actually time to do other things, which was incredible. And so like for a little while I was running. Glenn has gotten really into a sport called pickleball. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but like he does
it's big in Florida.
Yes. Okay. So he got into that, and he like goes to competitions now in pickleball. So I play that like once a month. I wouldn't say that that's a lot, but just like walking outside, I've been doing that more, and then actually doing like normal people things, like, oh hey, let's go to dinner with this couple. Like whereas pre-COVID, like I just think that was like it felt impossible to do that kind of thing. So it's been cool being a normal person.
Yeah, we're not saying COVID's cool. But it has.
I don't think people thought that that's what I meant.
But to be honest with you, the opportunities that we have been presented to have a normal life, one that's not 10 to 10 every day, traveling every weekend, never really having a chance to do anything because we have all we're doing is immersing and burying ourselves in work while we have that opportunity to. So this time has given us an opportunity to discover what we like to do and what we want to do.
Yeah, I know it's been for me who doing all the floor and the video. It's weird being home this much. Like I've gotten way more accomplished, but then it's like I want to be back on the road. It's kind of that catch-22. You enjoy being home, but then you miss that kind of like that rush of having to go sometimes. At least
I'm ready to get back on. I'm ready to get back on the road again. I'm ready to dance again. I'm ready to experience that again for sure.
Yeah. What's looking like your first event back? Maybe swing wise. What are y'all thinking that's going to happen? Because I know I've seen lots of posts about possible. I saw someone post this. There's possibly a swing event happening in July.
Well, I'm not sure how. I know that I believe that the event that's contacted us and that we want to do is Wild Wild Westy, and they're still working with a lot of details about finalizing stuff what they're going to do. But that would be our first swing event back, and I mean Tracy, it's such a pleasure to work with her. So that's a thought. The swing is difficult, and the important part to understand why ballroom is back so quickly is not because they're more dangerous.
There's no social.
There's no social. You go at all. Go there with your pro, and he's got his, or she has, or he has his 5 or 4 men, or whatever, and you dance with them. You have your own table, and you dance, and then you finish, and you cut out, and you're gone. Country is
more like that.
Is more like that, but our social side's great. But we just at events there's a lot of pro-am and shows and stuff, so you only social dance a little bit in between. But swing events are nothing but social. The competitions are social. Yes, there have NASD events, and that's at night, and you do showcase and classic. But everything else is Jack and Jill and Strictly's, and that means you're touching a lot of people. So what I think is amazing about what Wild Wild Westy is doing, and why we're so interested is they're putting down some restrictions because they're much more at risk. Of having a problem at an event than any other style of event. So, I mean, dance event, So I think that they've got a system in place that I think will work, and we're looking forward to that event.
Awesome. Yeah, I always said I had Jimmy Mulligan on a couple months ago, and we talked about ballroom events starting back up, and I've had Robert Royston on, and we all said line dance is going to be the easiest event to come back. We don't dance with anybody. And then ballroom, because there's no social dancing. The hardest two are going to be country and West Coast swing, just because of the whole social aspect. It's just.
I would agree. I mean, even line dance, you could section off the floor if you wanted to. You know, what I mean, just like you get 2 squares each or something. You know, so just something to let people know that you stay away from each other.
Right.
Which is hard. Trust me. But that's. It's not because of how you feel. You have to in that space. You have to respect how somebody else might feel.
Right.
Sure.
So I just think it's actually teaching us all some good habits.
Yeah, and it definitely has increased the online aspect. Everybody who was afraid to touch technology, I will say, has definitely adapted very well. There's been so many great opportunities for people, and this was definitely big in the line dance world, for people to take from instructors they probably never would have got a chance to, because they never could have made it to an event that they would have been at. Like,
agreed.
I'm sure y'all have probably tons of students that are probably newer that you probably never would have got a chance to see because they just never would have been able to make it to an event y'all are at.
That's so true. And it's been really cool to like meet people from all over and kind of develop these relationships with people, like you said, you never would have been able to.
Right.
Otherwise.
I mean, on our intensives, we're now teaching, you know, we had 60 some in our country one and 60 some in our West Coast swing one. And we're meeting people we've never met before, and they're sending us videos and we're coaching them, and they're loving it. And so it's a great opportunity for us to be able to interact on a teaching level with many people that we would have never thought of taking that opportunity before.
Right, because they don't live in Austin. If you don't live in Austin, or we're not at the same event, but even at an event, it's a little bit different experience than a weekly interaction.
So since that, we have some online classes, but we also have some online privates that we still do. And those people have just been loving the opportunity to have access to Susan and I, which was very flattering, but it's helped with their dancing out tremendously. So it's definitely exciting for us and fun.
Yeah, I have to say, I don't see, even when we do go back, I think the online world is going to still blossom very, very well, because
I think that people will notice how much they benefit from it. And I think that it's going to go hand in hand with events now.
Absolutely. What, anything new that y'all are going to be working on? Anything new and exciting coming from you guys? I know you said you're not leaving the country alone.
You have to imagine that we're very fortunate to have a really good routine this past November, 2019. We had in our West Coast swing routine, and then we did it twice. We did twice after that, or 3 times if you count Worlds in country, and then we did it at the Capital Swing and Mad Jam, and then the world shut down.
Right.
And Susan and I mean, I'll speak for myself, but I love this routine, and I would love an opportunity to put it on the floor a few more times, because that was a really fantastic routine, and I love the feel of it, and just want to be able to show it live to more people.
Yeah, and other things, we're hoping to film some new like instructional videos that we've been kind of wanting to do. Like, we've been doing these intensive, but we also want like some formalized videos that we have in mind to record. So I did like 15 or 16 videos right now, so add to that. Yeah,
we're going to develop we're already kind of in the works of developing an online site. And so instead of having videos, because no one who uses DVDs anymore, not very many people. So we'll have a digital world out there that people can go access our videos and pay to get into that site, and as a result, then they can really kind of just watch stuff. And so a lot of that online content that we've been doing, we're hoping to film that in such a way that we break it down into sections to really kind of let people have access to us from all over the world.
Awesome. I'm hoping the world starts opening back up. I know I'd actually like to see you guys in person. It's been probably 2 years. I think Tampa Bay Classic last time.
Oh,
yeah, that's
crazy.
2 years.
Yeah. Right. And someone asked, will Susan and Gary be joining Glenn in Dallas this weekend? Come to a line dance event. Come have fun.
Not this time. No, he's going by himself, but I know he's really excited about it. Like, just a little bit about Glenn. So my Glenn, my husband is British, and he was a commercial dancer. So he danced for people like Jennifer Lopez, Taylor Swift, like that kind of thing. But he got started in country line dancing as a kid, like in England, which is crazy, right? I mean, I guess you guys know that line dancing is everywhere, but like I didn't know that. I think that's cool. And so I love that over COVID, because of COVID, we started a line dancing class here at our studio. And he kind of got really excited about line dancing again. And then he saw that there was a thing coming up and like wanted to be a part of it. So I just think that's really cool. Like he's reconnecting with his roots. So yeah, go line dancing.
Yeah, I got to see him one of the last swing events, and we got to talk about some of the old line dancers we both knew. It was kind of weird how all the worlds collide.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Like, because I've been working a lot with Rob Glover during this, but we haven't been doing broadcasting for dancing. We've been broadcasting for soccer, Liverpool Football Club. So who would have thought two dancers would be working together to work with a soccer team?
Right. Yeah.
Of all things. So I know y'all are doing the virtual workshop. I've already got the footage because I'm getting to put it all together for Mid-Atlantic in a couple weeks. Any other virtual big things coming up? I know you got your intensives. Put those back up for everyone to see. You can still sign up. I love the gear shift on the one, Gary. That was awesome. Incorporate the car theme.
That was Glenn. Glenn does our posters, and that was a great idea, I thought.
Yes.
And I love that he went up to sixth gear because my Lotus had a sixth gear, so that was awesome.
Yeah. So don't forget, guys, you can still sign up for their intensives. They got a country one and a swing one. Don't hesitate. It's going to be a great time. Y'all are going to enjoy everything you learn. Trust me on that one. So.
And everybody can still get the early bird rate that's on here up until 12 noon tomorrow. So we want to give that opportunity. If people haven't heard about this, our intensives, that they definitely can still get that early bird rate up. If they're listening in, I know the early bird date has passed, but you've got it till 12 noon tomorrow.
Yeah. So weird seeing you without. You look so young in the one on the right, Gary, with the cowboy hat.
That was Susan and I's first country show. We performed at Worlds before Susan was officially competing in country. We performed a two-step at Worlds to Country Girl, I think the song was.
I think so.
And yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed that.
Wow. Yeah, I still remember when I lived in Texas and we took lessons back in the day, and I remember the Worlds. I think it was a long time ago, but I could have swore every Pro-Am division, the girls was won by either one of your students or Rex Jones's students. I remember that Worlds.
That 1 year, that was when Stephanie McPherson and I did Division I, and I had, I don't know, like 18 or 19 girls, and
yeah.
And I mean, I've been fortunate enough to dance Pro-Am with a lot of talented ladies, Bernadette Carmichael, Sarah Behrens, Penny Lalonde. I had all these girls as my Pro-Am students or pro students, and so I've been very fortunate to have some extremely talented master level dancers like even Christine Wessel that I've been able to have a chance to train and dance with. So it's been a fantastic run. I credit our success still to this day, and I will for the rest of my career, credit my success in all these multi-genre dance forms because of country. I mean, what style makes you do smooth Latin, country, and swing all in one style of dance, in one combination? So to be a country dancer is something I'm immensely proud of.
Yeah, I still tell people to this day, one of my favorite competitions of all time to watch, pro, amateur, masters, all, was when I think it was Teen Advance, you danced with Lauren Forsythe and Rex Jones danced with Lauren Welch. And
yes,
that was one of the best dance competitions I've ever watched in my life. Those two girls with you and Rex set the floor on fire at Worlds that year.
Yeah, that was an amazing competition.
That was just absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. And I miss the days like that. I love going to Worlds.
Both of them were so crazy talented. It was,
yes. And I think it came from a teen competition. It wasn't even an open competition or nothing like that. It came from a Pro-Am teen competition. It was just insane.
Yeah.
So Daniel Trepet just said, I loved all your routines, but the routine that you did with Lisa in 1999 Showcase two-step is what inspired him to do couples. So thank you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
That's cool.
So
it's so funny because I have Lorene's here. Lorene Baldovi is in Austin right now, and she handed me a magazine that I haven't seen. When I applied for my immigration, and Susan helped me put together a pamphlet. I had to give away all the originals of everything I had collected.
Yeah.
So because I had to give them to the government to prove that I was successful, and this is the proof, and so on like that, and how I could get my green card or my at that time O1 paperwork, and so she handed me a 5, 6, 7, 8 with Lisa and I on the cover of it in this yellow costume, and I was wearing black. And I was like, wow, she handed it to me yesterday, and I was like so blown away because I was like, I haven't seen that I lost that. I had to give that away. So it's kind of brought back. So when you mentioned Lisa, it was, a lot of very fond memories with Lisa, fantastic dancing with her. And that poster, it's funny, I saw that picture yesterday.
Yeah, like I loved how you met your couples from country. Those competitions were some of the best. Like the Ronnie and Brandy versus the Millers, both in classic and showcase. You never knew who was going to win. It was just those competitions were classic. I loved it a couple years ago when I watched the live stream of Worlds, and there was actually had to be preliminaries for Masters Classic. I love that. I love the fact that there was that many couples.
That was such a good thing for country to have.
Yes, I remember. I remember back in the day there would be. You might get 3, 4 couples come Worlds, or same thing in showcase. I love the fact that there were so many.
I mean, I remember it started off in the days back, at the very beginning with Barry and Dawn and Scott and Cheryl Lindbergh and Mike and Patty dancing, and all these couples, and then it went on to Bob and Sarah, Tony and Yvonne, and Robert and Lorraine, and then progressing there. I remember us coming in, and it was Robert and Lorraine and Cody and Riesa and myself and Lisa. And that was a huge Worlds to win. That was '99, and to progress, where Susan and I got a chance to dance and compete in Worlds and win. It was I love it. I just love the format they're dancing now, and I'm so glad to see that in the UCWDC's competitions that they've changed the order of the dances to be that you get to stick with smooth for 3 dances, and then you have 2 hybrid dances with West Coast Swing and two-step together, and then you have these 3 rhythm dances. It's going to really help people, I think, get in touch with feeling the characteristics of those dances as they go through that. So that's what we're focusing the intensive on, is actually making you get ready for this new dance order that we're working with. So, because in the past, I'm telling you, there's nothing harder than jumping from a nightclub to a cha-cha back to a waltz. And that is just not in someone's body to be doing such dramatically different dances. It was a challenge, but I love that we're going to try to give people an opportunity. And maybe out of this, maybe we'll get a multi-dance division. Maybe we'll get smooth and rhythm and hybrids in separate categories maybe one day. Because that would be kind of cool to let people come in that only want to do a two-step and a West Coast Swing, or only want to do the smooth dances, or only want to do the rhythm dances. There are students out there that only want to do those kind of things. So I envision that that's going to grow to that, where we have, I wouldn't say extra divisions, just some categories that people can just focus on just doing less dances.
Yeah, I hated going from 222 to polka. That was a nightmare. I hated that.
Yeah, it does feel like whiplash, doesn't it? Okay, what are we doing?
Especially for I feel bad for the newcomers and everything that have to start 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning.
Oh,
you got this slow moving dance to start off at 8 o'clock in the morning after you're up for 7 a.m. warm-ups. They're right into polka. It's it was brutal. Absolutely brutal. So huge thank you guys for coming on today. Absolutely loved it that we were able to get it rescheduled and just getting to chat and catch up. Guys, don't forget, you have until noon tomorrow. I'm going to put it up on the screen again. You can go to their Facebook page. You have until noon tomorrow to still get the early bird.
And one more thing about that, because I just realized as you're line dancers, you don't need a partner for either of these. Most of our people take it by themselves. If you have a partner, cool, but don't feel you need a partner to do this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. And then don't forget, guys, sign up. Tomorrow I'm going to have Jennifer Engel with Mid-Atlantic Dance Classic. We're going to talk about the event. Sign up. You can still get all the workshops for next weekend as well. Gary and Susan did one. I know Brian and Megan did one. Satu did one. I got a bunch more that I haven't finished editing yet that I'm going to be putting on that broadcast. I got all the videos in bunches. It was great. I loved it. So, but huge shout out to you guys for coming on and doing this with me. It was a pleasure as always. And hope things keep going strong in Texas.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you.
Anytime. Guys, tomorrow, 5 o'clock, join me as I chat with Jennifer all about Mid-Atlantic. Until then, see ya.